Hi, welcome back. This is Anna Breeze, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about if you're an empath and you have a mission to help other people in this world, and you're quite sensitive to emotion and other people's feelings and things. How can you become that helper or help to raise consciousness, help to raise the frequency of the planet, the collective, if you get caught up in other people's emotions? So one way to not get caught up in other people's emotions is kind of like you have to do emotional training. So you have to strengthen your muscle of emotional detachment. And this is not to be unfeeling. So but there is an art to this. So when you're listening to a story of someone telling you their perspective and it's quite negative, and it could be about the news or something they've been watching, or an opinion about politicians or the state of things in the world, and you can feel, right, that their perspective is a low frequency, their perspective is actually quite negative, and you can tell that they're not feeling good because of that perspective. So how can we, as light workers, as empaths, as sensitives, who are here on a mission to help raise consciousness on the planet, how can we shepherd that consciousness that is low frequency or in a negative state? How can we bring that up, or at least not feed it? So one of the things, we've got to be the emotional lifeguard, as Gordon Smith put it, who is a medium. We have to be mindful of our emotions and not to get pulled into their story, to not get pulled into their narrative. Because if we allow that to happen, then we just sink to that level. So we get pulled into the sea, because quite a lot of the time people don't realize it, but their thinking is creating a sense of helplessness, a sense of victimhood, and a sense of kind of like drowning in that sea of negativity. And it's not their fault. It's also a big part of the conditioning, the messages that the media is putting across, and generally just exposure to the type of news that we're exposed to every single day. So for us as empaths and as healers and light workers, we have to be conscious of not allowing our emotions to get pulled into another person's narrative. So how do we help that person when they're expressing a perspective that we can see isn't helping them? And usually when people are on a roll and they're talking about something, a situation in the world that they're not happy about, they're already in it, right? So they are part of, basically in that sea. They're basically trying to get above the water. So by maintaining a certain emotional distance from that perspective, then we don't get pulled into the sea as well. And what we can do is we can just offer a different perspective. So if someone's thinking, is talking about the politicians and, maybe something that they're doing in the world and kind of just complaining, then we don't have to agree with their perspective, because a lot of the times people are agreeing and validating these negative perspectives, and that's why the world is as it is today. So in order to raise the consciousness of the planet, we have to stop agreeing with what other people are saying, and to know that that's perfectly okay. So yeah, just maintaining emotional governance in a way, and just remember that don't go with people as they're falling into that water, falling into that sea. It's just their perspective. It's their perspective that is making them feel the way they're feeling, and it's important that we don't follow that perspective. So the thing that you can do is you can listen detachedly, and then you can offer another perspective. Or sometimes it's just not agreeing with what they're saying, but you can still be there, you can still be present, but just not agreeing with what they're saying. So just remember that in order for the collective and to change, and for the planet to change, we can't agree with these perspectives that are negative and generally pulling the energy downwards. So stay positive, guys. Maintain your high frequency by not getting sucked in to the negative thoughts and perspectives of other people. So that's how you become an emotional lifeguard, and someone who manages to maintain that high frequency, that conscious frequency of expansion and love in the world. Because when we're coming from love, we can be non-attached to what someone else is saying, especially if it's negative. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments about this material, please put them in the comments, and I'll get back to you. Okay, love and light. Bye.